In anticipation for Armor King, they decided to add a new feature to training mode. This one here, Throwscape Training, which is right under the punishment training. Super nice. Although kind of funny because if that mechanic we saw during the trailer means that Armor King gets guaranteed throws, this is not gonna help you that much, right? Still, there are other characters that use throws and Armor King might use it in the neutral and you have to know how to escape it, or else you might get wall splats by a shining black. This mode has 4 difficulty settings, but up until hard, I think that just changes the frequency. And you can also choose which grabs are in the rotation. So I took away the generic grabs here because they are like whatever, you just press 1 or 2. I'm also going to remove this one here, the tackle, but you can keep it. It's a 1+2. And once you know how to escape them, then you can challenge yourself with the ultra hard setting, which adds counter hit properties to throws. And that means they have a much shorter window for escaping. Let me see if I can get a few of them. Oh, too late. Oh my god. There we go, 1. That should have been 2. This is crazy. There we go, 2. Oh, I'm always too late. That's messed up. This one is very difficult, and in my defense, I'm playing through the OBS preview, okay? I have more input delay, or else I would have broken like 1 more. Anyways, this is not even why I'm here. I'm here to tell you about a plateau you're gonna reach eventually when you're doing this practice throw breaking, whatever, you know. It's very common for you to reach a level where you can break them like very consistently in training mode, but in real matches, you get thrown every time and your finger doesn't even move to press a input or whatever to escape it. This is something that I've been through, and I see people oftentimes show up on Reddit and Discord complaining about that. It's very frustrating. Once you reach that point, you have to change your mindset as to why you're doing this training, practice, drill, whatever. At first, you're just doing it to be able to tell the difference between the throw animations, but later you are gonna be doing it to train your fingers to move like automatically once you see a subtle hint of a throw. So in short, what you want to do is turn practice mode a little bit more like a real match, where you never know when the opponent is gonna throw you or not. By the way, I see people suggest this to start throwing the opponent so they get mad and try to throw you back and you get a little bit of practice. But in my opinion, that is just turning the real match more like into practice mode, and it's not as useful. So first tip that I can give you is to, instead of looking at the hands, start paying attention to the torso animation, because it's also very telling. And if you're playing a character like Kuma, which is huge, and they throw you like super up close, you're not gonna even be able to see the hands. If he does it like that and you pay attention to the torso, you're gonna be able to tell the difference. They're still like different from one another, but it's a lot more subtle, and that's what you want in your practice. You want to make them as subtle as possible. Jesus Christ, I'm not breaking anything and embarrassing myself. There we go. So that's it. Pay attention to the torso instead. And the second tip I can give is to add them to your punishment training. So here you can record the opponent doing like certain moves that you want to punish, something like that, right? And in between that, you add the throws. Go over here and maybe you add this one and another one. And over time, as you get better, you want to reduce the frequency of them as well. So what you do is to increase the frequency of the punishable moves here, and then the throws will show up less often, which is nice because then they become like a jump scare to you. You're punishing stuff on break and then suddenly, what the hell was that? So that's one way to do it. Add them to your punishment training. And if you can, like, reduce the focus even more by listening to songs or a podcast or something on Twitch, that's even better. And the third step is to be patient, because this is gonna take time, like a lot of it. I vaguely remember that for me, it took me about like a month or two to finally be able to break throws on reaction in like real matches, and that is a long time, right? But it's funny that one day it just clicks. They throw you and then suddenly your hand moves freely by itself. It gains consciousness or something like that, and it's very interesting, very cool. But yeah, that's the tip that I can give you. If you're not able to break throws after practicing them for a while now, that's the reason. And in my opinion, that's what you should do to eventually be able to break them in your games.